Welcome to a new episode of the SEC Online Weekly Rewind, where we curate the most important legal updates of the week. Hi, I'm Nilufer Bhateja, and in this week I have brought important updates including the court's decision on whether a person can be convicted for murder solely on the evidence gathered by the police sniffer dog, the misuse of the SCSC Act, and much more. In a major development in the Gauri Lankesh murder case, the Supreme Court has set aside the Karnataka High Court order wherein it had squashed a charge sheet filed against one Mohan Nayak regarding offences under the Karnataka Control of Organised Crimes Act of 2000. On 5th September 2017, in which Gauri Lankesh, who was a leading journalist, was shot dead by sudden assailants near her home at the Raja Rajeshwari Nagar, Bangalore. The court noticed that the High Court was manifestly wrong in squashing the charge sheet, as it had ignored the fact that if the material collected by the investigating agency reveals that he had nexus with the accused, who is a member of the organized crime syndicate, or such nexus is related to the offence in the nature of organized crime, thus he need not be a person who had direct role in the commission of the organized crime as such. Dealing with the question as to when will the clock for calculating the limitation period run for proceedings under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, or the IBC, the bench of Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, Vikram Nath and B.V. Nagaratna justices has held that sections 61 clause 1 and 2 of the IBC consciously omit the requirement of limitation being computed from when the order is made available to the aggrieved party, in contradistinction to section 421 clause 3 of the Companies Act. The court noticed that the IBC is a watershed legislation which seeks to overhaul the previous bankruptcy regime, which was affected by delays and indefinite legal proceedings. Noticing discrepancies in the trial, the Patna High Court acquitted a woman accused of killing a 2-year-old kid. Noticing that the trial court had convicted the appellant on the evidence of a sniffer dog, the bench opined that the police was allowed to use the services of a sniffer dog for investigation, but merely because the dog entered the house of the appellant in her absence, the same could not be treated to be evidence sufficient to establish the guilt of the appellant, and the appellant could not be convicted only on the basis of the evidence gathered by the police sniffer dog. The Kerala High Court has confirmed the conviction of a person accused of raping his own daughter, rejecting the defense that the victim was in a sexual relationship with another person. The bench stated, even assuming that the victim is previously accustomed to sexual intercourse, this is not a decisive question. On the contrary, the question which is to be adjudicated is, did the accused commit rape on the victim on the occasion complained of? The Armed Forces Tribunal has granted disability pension to the person invalidated from service due to hypertension, rejecting the opinion of Release Medical Board that the disease was neither attributable to and aggravated by military service because the applicant was posted in a peace location. The bench opined that denying disability pension to the applicant was not convincing and did not reflect the complete truth on the matter. The bench held that the peace stations have their own pressure of rigorous military training and associated stress and strain of military service. Considering the misuse of the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act by the so-called social activists, the Punjab and Haryana High Court has directed the Director General of Police to issue instructions to all the senior superintendents of police that no FIR under the SC and ST Act is to be registered at the instance of the third party unless an opinion is sought from the district attorney that the complaint falls within the definition of victim as per the SC/ST Act. The Bombay High Court, in a very interesting manner, has considered the question whether our educational institutions are so weak that they would fear that the students would get adversely affected if there is a restaurant having a liquor license in the vicinity of the schools. The court was deciding a challenge as to the rejection of the liquor license due to the objections which were raised by the petitioners who were running a school in the vicinity of the place where the license was intended to be transferred, and that granting such a transfer would lead to an impending law and order situation. The High Court has stated that the petitioner's institution ought not to have formed such an opinion that the education being imparted by the educational institution was so fragile that the students would get easily influenced by a restaurant serving liquor in the vicinity. This is for twofold reasons. Firstly, the educational institution was never bothered about a similar restaurant having a liquor license functioning in the vicinity for the last 10 to 12 years. And secondly, and most importantly, if the quality of learning and inculcation of moral values in the children is to be of the standard that the father of the nation intended to imbibe in our citizens, then the petitioner's institution ought not to have been worried at all about any student being adversely affected by any such place in the vicinity of the school. The Delhi government has notified the Delhi Prevention and Control of Malaria, Dengue, Chikungunya or any vector-borne disease regulations of 2021. The government has the power to declare any area in Delhi as an infected area or a threatened area or any area contiguous to any infected area in which, in the opinion of the state government, there is a danger of outbreak of malaria, dengue, chikungunya or any other vector-borne disease. The Unique Identification Authority of India or UIDAI has issued the Aadhaar Pricing of Aadhaar Authentication Services Regulations of 2021. The regulations provide that each successful Aadhaar eKYC transaction shall be charged at Rupee 3, including applicable taxes from requesting entities except the telecom service providers, for whom the rate shall be Rupee 1, including applicable taxes for each successful Aadhaar eKYC transaction. If any existing requesting entity except those exempt under Regulation 2, Subclause 2, continue to use the Aadhaar authentication services beyond the date of publication of these regulations, it shall be deemed to have agreed to the specified authentication changes. The entities shall be required to deposit the authentication transaction charges within 15 days of issuance of the invoice based on the usage. The delay in payment beyond 15 days shall attract interest compounded at 1.5% per month and discontinuation of authentication and eKYC services. SCC Online has introduced a new feature, Resume on Login, through which a user can resume on the same screen in case of a logout or time expiry or timeout. The question for this week's SCC Online quiz was, how many international codes are there on the SCC Online database? The right answer for this question is 29, and Jyoti Yadav and Prabhim Simran Singh are the winners for this quiz. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more updates.